What if the historic lunar landing sites became monuments to be preserved for future generations, just like the Colosseum, the Eiffel Tower, or the Great Wall of China? This is the proposal put forward by the World Monuments Fund, an international non-profit organization dedicated to recognizing and protecting the most important monuments in human history. The concern is that, with the current space race and the growing interest of governments and private companies in our satellite, the historical significance of these sites may be overlooked, potentially leading to damage. With the expansion of the space industry and the prospect of increasingly frequent commercial and scientific missions, it is essential to discuss regulations and strategies to protect the heritage of lunar exploration. The Moon, once unreachable, is becoming an increasingly accessible destination, making it necessary to reflect on its historical and cultural value. A small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. These immortal words mark one of the most significant moments in the history of space exploration and humanity as a whole. It was July 20, 1969, when astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to walk on the lunar surface, securing the United States' victory in the Cold War space race. This event not only represents a milestone in science and technology but also holds profound cultural and symbolic meaning, testifying to humanity's ability to push beyond its limits and venture into uncharted territories. However, the Apollo 11 mission was not the only one. Between 1969 and 1972, 6 Apollo missions brought a total of 12 astronauts to the Moon. As of today, only 4 of them are still alive: David Scott, Buzz Aldrin, Harrison Schmitt, and Charles Duke. These men not only left an indelible mark on history but also left behind an open-air museum on the lunar surface, a testament to humanity's scientific and technological achievements. The astronauts left scientific instruments, rovers, flags, and numerous other objects on the Moon, along with their footprints, still visible on the lunar surface. Even Soviet missions, despite not sending humans, left robotic probes, significantly contributing to the history of space exploration. Some of these artifacts still hold scientific value today, while others symbolically represent the beginning of the space age. Today, with the increasing number of space missions and plans for lunar colonization, the issue of preserving these historical sites is becoming more urgent. The World Monuments Fund has included the Moon in its biennial list of 25 at-risk monuments to raise awareness at the United Nations and promote international recognition of the lunar heritage. The greatest risk is that new missions could irreversibly alter the landscape, compromising the preservation of crucial traces of human exploration history. Beyond the threat of accidental alterations from new landings, there is also the danger of unregulated space tourism. With the growing interest of private companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and others, the Moon could become a destination for commercial travel, increasing the risk of damage to historical sites. Additionally, the future establishment of permanent lunar bases could lead to the construction of infrastructure near these historical sites, endangering their integrity. The goal is to ensure that these traces of space exploration history are not erased or damaged by the arrival of new missions. But how can we concretely preserve these sites? And to what extent should access be restricted? It may be necessary to establish international regulations prohibiting landings and human activity within a certain distance from these sites, or perhaps the creation of a sort of lunar archaeological park could be considered. The lunar surface hosts an incredible variety of artificial objects, including about 200 tons of probes and landers, including the Soviet Lunar 2 probe, 1959, the first artificial object to reach the Moon. Scientific instruments and rovers, such as the first Apollo 15 lunar vehicle, 1971, and the Soviet Lunar 1, 1970. The astronauts' footprints, still perfectly preserved due to the absence of atmosphere and weathering agents. Cultural artifacts, such as the medals of Yuri Gagarin and Vladimir Komarov, left by Apollo astronauts as a tribute to Soviet pioneers. American flags, though likely faded due to exposure to cosmic rays, and even some golf balls hit by Alan Shepard during the Apollo 14 mission. Some descent modules of landers still remain on the lunar surface, while the ascent modules may have crashed after being abandoned in orbit. These objects not only bear witness to human ingenuity but also represent a unique historical heritage that deserves to be preserved. The World Monuments Fund is a non-profit organization founded in 1965 and based in New York, dedicated to the conservation of culturally significant historical sites. It has worked on over 700 projects in 112 countries and collaborates with local governments and UNESCO to protect endangered monuments. Every 2 years, it publishes the World Monuments Watch, a list of endangered sites. In 2025, among the 25 selected locations is the Moon itself. The organization suggests that international collaboration is needed to protect the lunar heritage and establish guidelines regulating future missions, preventing irreversible damage to these historical sites. The issue of preserving lunar sites remains open. What are the most effective measures to protect them? Should we establish protected zones on the Moon? Or could their preservation hinder the progress of space exploration? Some argue that protecting historical lunar sites is essential to maintaining a connection with the past, while others believe that such protection should not obstruct the development of future space missions. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on future videos.